You're the person everyone calls. The first one on the list when there's a crisis, a last-minute request, or a favor to be asked. You are the reliable friend, the dependable colleague, the one who holds the entire family together with sheer force of will. You have built an entire identity on being the nice one, the accommodating one, the selfless one. But lately, that niceness feels less like a gift and more like a heavy weight you're forced to carry. You're exhausted, a deep, bone-weary exhaustion that sleep doesn't seem to fix. You feel unseen, as if people look right through the person to the function you serve. You're starting to wonder in the quiet moments late at night if your greatest strength has become your biggest problem. You're the person everyone calls. The first one on the list when there's a crisis, a last-minute request, or a favor to be asked. You are the reliable friend, the dependable colleague, the one who holds the entire family together with sheer force of will. You have built an entire identity on being the nice one, the accommodating one, the selfless one. You've become a living bridge that everyone else uses to cross their troubled waters. But no one ever stops to check if the foundations are cracking. That quiet yes you keep offering to everyone else has become a deafening no to yourself. A no to your rest, a no to your dreams, a no to your own peace. And in the space where your own voice should be, there is only a profound and lonely silence. If this sounds painfully familiar, you are not alone, and it is not your fault. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the dark side of kindness. We'll explore how your deep, innate generosity might be leading you straight to burnout, and, even worse, how it can make you a prime target for manipulation. Let's be completely honest for a second. Being kind feels good. In almost every culture, putting others first is taught as a core virtue. For most of us, it comes from a genuine place of empathy and a deep desire to connect with others. We want to help, we want to be seen as good people, and we want to maintain harmony in our relationships. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, research from institutions like UC Berkeley's Greater Good Science Center consistently shows that authentic, voluntary altruism, kindness that is freely given, actually boosts our own happiness and well-being. It's a beautiful, reciprocal exchange. But there's a line. It's a fine, almost invisible line that, once you cross it, turns kindness from a heartfelt gift into a relentless compulsion. This is the people-pleasing trap. It's the moment you start prioritizing others' perceived needs at the direct expense of your own essential ones. It's saying, yes, of course, to helping a co-worker on a Friday evening when your own energy is depleted and you're desperate to get home to your family. It's hiding how you truly feel, pretending you love the loud restaurant your friends chose, to avoid the slightest possibility of upsetting someone or being seen as difficult. It's apologizing for things that are not remotely your fault, simply to absorb the tension in the room. For many people, this isn't a conscious choice, but a deeply ingrained survival strategy, often learned a long time ago. It can be a way to feel safe and secure in relationships, a tactic learned in childhood to maintain peace and earn love. The problem is, this behavior is almost always driven by fear, a deep-seated fear of rejection, a terror of conflict, or the mortifying fear of being called selfish. Slowly but surely, your self-worth gets tangled up with what other people think of you. You start to feel valuable only when you are actively useful to others. Your worth isn't inherent. It feels conditional, something that must be earned again and again through acts of service. This dependency creates a profoundly fragile sense of self. So you give, and you give, and you give, hoping that with the next act of kindness, you will finally feel worthy, finally feel unconditionally loved, and finally be able to rest. But instead of feeling fulfilled, you start to feel empty and invisible. The more you give, the less you feel seen as a whole person. You become a resource, not a human being. You become the town well. Everyone comes to you for their water, their time, and their energy. But nobody ever asks if the well itself is running dry. You're the rock everyone leans on, but nobody ever checks to see if the rock itself is cracking under the immense, unrelenting pressure. This is the great, tragic paradox of being too kind. The more you give away, the more invisible you become. You might get praised for being selfless, for being such a saint, but inside, a corrosive resentment begins to build. You feel drained, unappreciated, and hollowed out. That feeling is a critical warning sign. It's your internal alarm system screaming that your kindness is no longer flowing from a full cup. It's bleeding from an empty and wounded one. You've fallen into the kindness trap, a golden cage built with the bars of compliments and social approval, but locked from the inside by your own inability to say no. And that cage doesn't just exhaust you, it makes you dangerously vulnerable. The agitation, the high cost of unchecked kindness. This is where the situation gets serious, because unchecked, compulsive kindness can inflict profound damage in two major ways. First, through an internal collapse that leads directly to burnout, anxiety, and depression. And second, by making you an irresistible, flashing neon target for manipulators and toxic people. Let's talk about the internal collapse first. It often starts with feeling tired all the time. Not just, I need a good night's sleep, tired, but a soul-deep emotional exhaustion. This isn't just stress. It's a recognized condition that psychologists call compassion fatigue. It's what happens when you give away so much empathy that your own supply runs dry. It's rampant among professional caregivers, but it also affects deeply empathetic people in their everyday lives. Those who constantly put others first without any form of emotional self-protection. When a friend calls with a crisis, you find yourself feeling nothing. Where there used to be a rush of empathy, now there's just static, a blankness. You want to care, but the emotional machinery has seized up. Studies show that people who struggle to say no and consistently override their own needs are far more likely to experience severe burnout. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's a biological reality. Your body has a sophisticated alarm system designed for emergencies. But when you're constantly saying yes, while your mind and body are screaming no, that alarm never shuts off. Your system is perpetually flooded with stress signals, which can lead to chronic health issues, digestive problems, persistent anxiety, and deep depression. Your kindness, when it is unchecked and compulsive, literally becomes a form of self-harm. You're meticulously watering every plant in the garden, but your own, and eventually, starved of your own care, you are going to collapse. It's not just about being tired, though. It's about losing the very essence of who you are. When your entire identity is constructed around serving others, you can forget who you are without that role. You lose touch with your own desires, your opinions, your passions, your truth. It's like you've been playing a character for so long, you've forgotten your own lines. Someone asks a simple question like, "What do you want to do this weekend?" And you draw a blank. You can only remember what your partner, your kids, or your friends want to do. Your own preferences are buried under years of accommodating others. You look in the mirror and don't recognize the person staring back because their life has been shaped entirely by other people's expectations. This fosters a deep, simmering resentment and a profound feeling of being inadequate. Now, let's turn to the external threat, because this depleted, self-doubting state makes you a magnet for manipulators. Manipulative individuals, especially those with narcissistic traits, have a radar for people pleasers. They don't see your kindness as a virtue. They see it as a vulnerability, a weak spot to be ruthlessly exploited. And their tactics are often disguised as forms of affection or kindness, which makes them incredibly difficult to spot. One of the most common is love bombing. A manipulator will shower you with intense, over-the-top affection and praise right at the beginning of a relationship. They make you feel seen and cherished in a way you've always craved. "You're the most amazing person I've ever met," they'll say. "You understand me like no one else." For someone who feels invisible, this is intoxicating. But this isn't real affection. It's a strategy. It's designed to get you hooked and to create a powerful sense of indebtedness. Another tactic is using gifts or favors to create an unspoken obligation. That time your boss paid for your certification course out of kindness. It felt great at the time. But 6 months later, you're asked to work every weekend on a demanding new project. When you hesitate, they say, "Well, I thought you were a team player. After all, we invested so much in you." That gift wasn't a gift. It was a down payment on your future compliance. That act of kindness becomes leverage they can use to guilt-trip you. "After all I've done for you, you can't do this one small thing for me." This is a classic move designed to control you with shame. These individuals often master the art of playing the victim. They constantly talk about their sacrifices and how much they do for others, framing themselves as selfless martyrs. In public, they appear noble and generous, but in private, they use their selflessness to make you feel as though you are perpetually in their debt. They build a fortress of martyrdom around themselves, and if you dare to ask for something or complain, you are instantly cast as the ungrateful villain attacking the saint. But perhaps the most insidious and damaging tactic is how they use your own kindness to dismantle your sanity. Narcissists are masters of intermittent reinforcement, a dizzying cycle of mixing praise with criticism, warmth with coldness. They will praise you extravagantly when you do what they want. "You're so brilliant and supportive," and then turn cold, critical, or dismissive the moment you try to assert a boundary or have a different opinion. This charm and cruelty cycle is designed to keep you perpetually off balance, desperately seeking their approval and doubting your own perceptions. You start to think, "Maybe I am the crazy one. Maybe I am just too sensitive. That is gaslighting. Its sole purpose is to systematically destroy your self-trust until you're completely dependent on their version of reality. When your kindness is weaponized against you in these ways, it feels confusing and deeply painful. You are left drained, used, and questioning your own mind. The very thing you prided yourself on, your kind heart, has become the chain that binds you to toxic people. Just take a breath for a second. If your hands are shaking a little right now, if your heart is beating faster because this is all hitting so close to home, that's okay. You're not imagining it. It's real. Share in the comments if you've ever felt like your kindness was taken for granted or used against you. You don't have to share details, but just typing "I've been there" can be a powerful act of validation for yourself and an act of solidarity for everyone else reading this. It's a way of holding up a light for someone else who is sitting in the dark, thinking they're the only one. And if you're ready to learn how to break this cycle for good, make sure you subscribe, because we're getting into the solution right now. The solution? Reclaiming your kindness. So, what is the answer? Do you have to stop being kind? Do you need to become cold, cynical, and selfish to protect yourself? Absolutely not. The goal isn't to kill your kindness, it's to transform it from a compulsive, self-draining habit into a conscious, powerful, and sustainable choice. It's about practicing wise kindness, and that journey starts with embracing one radical idea. True, authentic kindness must include yourself. Think about the safety instructions on an airplane. They tell you to put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. Why? It's not because you are more important than the person next to you. It's because if you pass out from lack of oxygen, you are no good to anyone. Self-care and self-respect are not selfish indulgences. They are the absolute prerequisites for genuine, sustainable generosity. Kindness that flows from a full cup is energizing and joyful. Kindness that bleeds from an empty one breeds resentment and burnout. This journey of reclaiming your kindness starts with developing radical self-compassion. You have to begin the hard work of retraining that harsh inner critic that berates you for having needs. It's about accepting all parts of yourself, especially the tired, frustrated, and fed-up parts. Those feelings aren't your enemy. They are vital signals. They are your internal GPS, your guidance system, telling you that a boundary has been crossed and you are off course. And that brings us to the most critical and life-changing tool in your new toolkit: boundaries. Boundaries are not walls you build to push people away. They are gates that you get to control. They are the clear, invisible lines that protect your time, your energy, your emotions, and your well-being. For a lifelong people-pleaser, the act of setting a boundary can feel terrifying. It can feel like an act of aggression. You might worry about being seen as selfish, of being rejected, or of hurting someone's feelings. And let's be brutally honest, some people will not like your new boundaries. This will primarily be the people who benefited the most from you having none. Their negative reaction is painful, but it's also incredibly clarifying. It's a spotlight that reveals which of your relationships are built on mutual respect and which were built on your silent compliance. So, how do you start this process? 1. Start small. You don't have to go from being a doormat to a fortress overnight. Practice in low-stakes situations where the emotional risk is minimal. When a barista gets your coffee order wrong, instead of just drinking it to avoid a fuss, practice saying, "Excuse me, I think I ordered oat milk. Could you remake this?" When a friend suggests a movie you have no interest in, try a simple, "I'm not really in the mood for that one. How about we try something else?" 2. Learn gentle but firm no's. Saying no doesn't have to be a confrontation. You can be both kind and unequivocally clear. It helps to have a few phrases ready to go. "Thank you for thinking of me, but I can't commit to that right now." Or, "My plate is too full at the moment to give that the attention it deserves." A personal favorite that buys you crucial decision-making time is, "Let me check my calendar and I'll get back to you." This gives you the space to decide if it's a true, heartfelt yes instead of an automatic, resentful one. You don't owe anyone a long, apologetic justification. A simple no is a complete sentence, and offering too many reasons just gives a manipulator an opportunity to argue with them. 3. Spot the manipulator red flags. Now that you know the tactics, you can become a detective of dynamics. When you meet someone new or interact with people in your life, ask yourself, does their affection feel rushed or overwhelming? Do their compliments seem to come right before a big request? Do they keep a mental scoreboard of favors? Do they constantly position themselves as a victim? When you feel that strange, unsettling mix of flattery and pressure, trust your gut. It's your alarm system telling you this isn't kindness, it's a transaction. 4. Embrace the mantra. Your urgency is not my emergency. This is a powerful shield for recovering people pleasers. People who are accustomed to you dropping everything will test your new boundaries. They will come to you with manufactured crises and last-minute demands. You must learn to pause, take a breath, and recognize that their poor planning or emotional dysregulation is not your responsibility to solve instantly. You are allowed to protect your own peace. You can still offer help, but on your own terms and at a time that works for you. 5. Reconnect with yourself. The final and most important step is to turn your attention inward. After years of focusing on everyone else, you might have to literally relearn what you want and need. You are an archaeologist, carefully digging up the buried city of your own soul. Start with small, simple questions. At lunch, ask, what do I actually want to eat? Not what's quickest. Before bed, ask, what would feel good to me right now? A book? 5 minutes of silence? Journaling can be a powerful way to hear your own voice again after it's been drowned out for so long. Be patient with this process. This will feel uncomfortable. If you're used to being passive, being assertive will feel aggressive. You will feel a powerful wave of guilt. When that guilt pops up, have a mantra ready. My no makes my yes honest. You are not doing something wrong. You are finally doing something right for yourself. This discomfort is the feeling of growth. The dark side of kindness was never about kindness itself being a flaw. It's that our unexamined, compulsive, boundaryless kindness is often just fear in a clever disguise. It's a strategy we use to buy approval and avoid conflict. But it's a strategy that leaves us empty, resentful, and ultimately invisible. The way out of this darkness isn't to become less kind. It's to become more conscious. It's about shifting from a kindness born of obligation and fear to one born from authentic, powerful generosity. It's about finally internalizing the truth that you cannot pour from an empty cup, and that filling your own cup first isn't selfish, it's essential. Imagine a future where your yes comes from a place of genuine joy, not from a place of quiet dread. Imagine your generosity energizing you instead of draining you. Imagine being loved and respected for your authentic self, not for your utility. This isn't a fantasy. It is the promise of wise kindness. By learning to set healthy boundaries, you reclaim your power and your voice. You teach others how to treat you with respect, and you begin to build relationships founded on mutual care, not one-sided sacrifice. Your yes will finally mean something because it will be a real choice, not a reluctant obligation. You'll discover that true sustainable kindness isn't about erasing yourself for the comfort of others, but about having the courage to fully respect yourself. And you will find beautifully that in learning to be kind to yourself, your kindness to others becomes more powerful, more genuine, and more transformative than ever before. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, please hit the like button and subscribe for more on building self-respect and real relationships. And remember to be kind to yourself today. You deserve it.